Okay, so today I want to talk about something crucial. But before I get into it, I want to explain, to put in perspective, how did this happen? And it may make some new authors and illustrators, anybody new to the industry, uncomfortable, but we have to talk real with each other if we're going to be the best at our craft and move forward, right? So the thing is, as somebody who's been in the industry 16 years, started in traditional, then shifted into self-publishing, um, I can tell you, and I've observed society and how society has changed. And because of everything that's changed, because of the accessibility of things, where things are just given to you now, online information for generations now, and et cetera, et cetera. And now how easy it is to do a children's book or any book really, because the platforms have changed since 2020. So now anybody really with just a few bucks really and just an idea can publish a book. So because it's too easy, because we live in the easy days of accessibility, all that other stuff, something's gone missing, a crucial factor, a crucial thing people need to do. They're not doing it. Nobody's talking about it. And I'm seeing the damage. They're coming in and they're mistreating people that are experiencing the industry because they don't know anything about it, because they haven't researched it. They also mistreat people they hire because they don't know anything about the craft and they don't research that. All they know is they're paying money to hire, say, an illustrator or whoever, or a formatter, but because they don't know anything about it, they're just making up their own rules. And then a lot of times they go into these groups and they support each other in the bad rules they're just making up. Bad rules like quick turnarounds. That's normal to rush a book. You should never rush a book. But anyways, to get back to the main point, is so unfortunately we have all these newbies coming into the industry that know nothing about the different crafts, about illustrating or writing. They haven't done any of that stuff, and they seem uninterested to learn that stuff, except if it's quick and easy and at their convenience when they do a post or group. But hurry up and give me the information and piss off, this kind of entitlement. But the old way of when you were going into a craft, you learned about that craft however you could. If you met people, whether they were nice or rude or not, if they were willing to give you free information about the craft because they're an expert, like in acting. If you have an asshole actor who's got a big ego and you're an up and coming actor and you're sitting at a lunch table and you ask him for advice, if he's kind of obnoxious about it, you keep your mouth shut and you just be grateful you got that advice. But the mentality today in a lot of industries, especially ours, isn't that. It's they have real attitudes, and I think it's come from this entitlement. But anyways, this isn't a video to bash you or make you feel bad for that. It is what it is. What I'm saying is it's a huge mistake, because what you're getting is crappy books in a saturated competitive environment. You are competing with so many books now. You really have to make the best book you can, the absolute best book you possibly can, and whoever you have involved with you, the best people to get it done. That's what you need to compete. That's what you need to grab the attention of all these masses that have short attention spans. They have all this free content, and they have all these books for sale, endless books they can choose from online. So you really have to do everything you can, being aware of that. So to do that, you learn the industry, you learn the craft. When I decided to get into children's books officially in 2005-ish, the first thing I did was go to the library and I rented 100 children's books from different time periods. That's the old way of doing things. And when I went into groups and I did massive research on my own. I didn't be lazy on the research. I learned on my own the difference between self-publishing and traditional. They didn't have a hybrid, to be avoided hybrid publishing back then. So they just had the two, and they were both legit. So I learned about that just by going to the websites and learning, really going in to traditional publishing websites and learning about submission by looking at their submission guidelines, and they're different for each company. I learned that by doing. So again, with these groups, they can be helpful, but they also promote laziness and this entitlement and this bad attitude of thinking you don't need to immerse yourself in the profession that you're doing, and you need to immerse yourself. And it's not just about respect and you'll work better with us. You will, but more crucially, you'll make better decisions. You guys are making terrible creative decisions, business decisions that cost you. It's costing you sales. We see so many come back and say, "Oh, I'm looking for my third illustrator." Well, yeah, there are a lot of bad and amateur illustrators out there. That's not the real problem there. If you're going through multiple illustrators, A, you didn't vet people properly or do research, which is one of my videos. Check that out. But B, but also part of that is if you're going through multiple illustrators, it's because you don't know enough about the craft, you haven't, or about how to vet, or you haven't done enough research to really be prepared and to know what you want in an illustrator and to vet them properly. You haven't done any of that. Again, it's about really applying yourself. So that's what I see when I see people going through. It's because again they're just making rash decisions. They'll just quickly look at a person's portfolio. They won't vet their history online, and they won't talk to them in video calls, and they'll make all these mistakes. And these mistakes are because you haven't done the preparation. It's just as simple as that. You have to spend tons of time saturating yourself, not just sitting in the groups, but actually doing real research yourself and learning all the crafts, learning how long it takes to illustrate a book or write a book, what's involved in editing and formatting, etc., and printing. And so you saturate yourself in this so you can make good decisions. But when you're going through multiple people, well, that costs you a fortune that you didn't have to spend if you did the process right in the first place. And the way you do the process right is you learn the process by learning everything you can about the industry and the different crafts involved in the industry before you start making decisions. So please, everybody, for your own sakes, your books are failing, your collaborations are failing, everything's failing because you haven't taken the time to learn and respect the book industry, the specific genre you're doing, whether it's teen books or children's books, because you haven't really researched the history before and after and current and trends. You haven't researched the actual craft of writing and illustrating, which are both involved in children's books. You have not done that. You need to do that. Do that, and you will have an easier time. You will make way better decisions in all areas, and your books will be miles superior to what you're making now. So please research our industry. I know it's easy to just jump in. Don't just jump in. All right, good luck.